Today's test by huge demand, Spyderco compression lock. This is a Paramilitary II. And today we're testing it versus the holdout. What holdout is this? Holdout 2. Sure, they're a lot different this way in the handle, Scheme D design, Spyderco design, but you could argue that they're pretty similar from here on out, or even from here out. The blades are very similar in cross-section as far as a full taper grind. They're distal taper this way, both cut pretty well. 30V blade, S30V, G10 with some steel liners. This is the full G10 frame triad lock. This does have the compression lock, which is, I must admit, super cool. In fact, if you said, oh, designing liner lock but better, I think this would be the answer. I don't know how it's going to test, but I do know that I wish if somebody asked me to do a compression or a improved liner lock, this is what I would think the answer was. Unfortunately, I didn't know that until I saw this. But we're going to test them, impact, both directions, and weight hang. The knife weighs, Spyderco, is 3.6 ounces. And the Bushman, or what's this thing, the holdout, 3.3 ounces. So they're very, very close in weight. We have the edges and points removed. So we're going to take this holdout. Both of these are prepared to go. This is the sharp one right here. And we'll try to stay with the one that's marked 3.3. We'll put this on deck in case. Now, the price, the street price, and the MSRP. So for the holdout, this price is what?
$154.99.
$154.99 can be had for
$92.95.
$92.95. Paramilitary II.
Retail is $197.95.
$197.
Street price $124.95.
And so it's like, this was what, 90? Almost 100?
92, 93.
So
First buck and a quarter.
okay, a little more expensive, very comparable in materials. So let's see how they do. Again, like all of our tests, this is an apple and oranges test because they're not, they'd have to be the exact same shape, same blade, same weight, same everything. But we're just seeing how this will compare to our standards. Now people say these tests are biased. That may be because I do want my knife to win. However, I do my best to be absolutely totally fair. I'm only doing to this knife what we expect all of our knives to do. And I'm so fair that if this knife doesn't pass this test or gets beat up badly, I use a new knife over there. If a third party were to do this, that would be cool, but nobody's doing it, so here we are. So let's just see. Spyderco Paramilitary II. Okay guys, by the way, my gun is an EMP, 9mm. That's a common question. I've carried it every single day for I don't know, 5 years. Since I work in a shop and it's dusty and messy, I tear it down once a week and make sure everything's well lubed for a 1911. And my knife is a secret prototype. Can't share that. So here we go, standard thing, 30 pounds of weight. We're going to put the 30 pounds up here. Again, this weight, this amount that we torque it down is enough to hold it still, not too firmly, not too loosely. And this plate is in the same exact spot from here, every single test we've done. So here we go. We'll show that it works good. Flipped open. Number one. Okay, that was very disappointing because I really like this thing. Okay, now technically, for us, if it fails even the first spine whack, it doesn't go out for production, or it doesn't go out for sale. If it was produced, it goes back. So it's already failed, but maybe we can make the argument that the lock seated itself. So I'd like to keep on going, but it failed. So impact test, no. You know, quite possibly you could take 100 of these now. I don't know that, but if a triad lock came in and it failed that first one, even if it could do 99 after that, it only takes one failure to have a grievous injury. All right, so we'll set that. Let's see. It's in pretty good shape right there. It seems okay. No play, nothing. We'll set that aside, and we'll put in this thing. I'll show you that it works. The Chief's gun of choice is a H&K
P30.
P30. 3. 4. And last one. I did have my fingers invisibly crossed the whole time, but I thought it would do that because that's why it's in production, because it was tested to do that. Should we overstrike? Why not? Okay, so set this down here. This is the one that failed the spine wax, but sometimes liner locks, they need to seat in place. Frame locks too. Maybe this is seated in place. So let's just see how it does the overstrike. So when we do this, we put this thing just about as closely as we can to the center of the pivot. One. Two. Check that. It's quite possible that that lock is really in place now. 3. And maybe a second Spyderco wouldn't have closed on that first one. I don't know that. I only have one to really test here. Well, that's 3, 4. We're looking good. 5. Well, the G10 is beat up in there, but that's to be expected because you're hitting on it. Other than that, it's really a tiny tick in there, but you know, you're usually going to get that. So that's really good. Again, this is the one that did the spine wax. 1. I thought it disappeared for a minute. Where'd it go? 2. Yeah, things are always dropping from the top of here. 3. Where are you going? You don't want to try Spyderco again?
We can.
This is the passing. It's really in good shape. There's not even a tick in there, which is greatly impressive for thin 1/8" frame. Let's set this here. The Spyderco I tested already is this one. It has the dings in the spine whack. Let's just throw it on one more time and see if it gets 5.
I was hoping you'd do that.
And you guys at home can judge who's fair and who's unfair, and that's not going to work. And you know, realistically, it's one failure is a failure. But let's just say now that the lock is now ideally set in place. Now let's see how it does. Let's do that. I mean, we are not out to embarrass or belittle Spyderco, especially. I think overall we're pretty fond of Spyderco, but they are a competitor. So I'm going to move this plate back up to the mark, the standard mark. Okay, now, this is the knife that failed the first time to pass the spine wax. Give that a flip. Okay. Second try. Now, who knows, because we'll leave that there, because you know, it took the overstrikes. So let's go take the brand new Spyderco compression lock, put it in our weight hanging apparatus. Both of these knives, I think, will have, because they're just the way they're ground and made, I think they'll have a decent strength to weight ratio. In fact, we're going to calculate that for you. Do you know those numbers? It's 3.3 and 3.6. I'll tell you right now. 3.6. So we're going to take 3. Well, once we get our total weight, we'll divide it by the 3.6. Is what I'm trying to say. We'll get this set up. I want to make sure that these things fold. Yep. Open. All right. Here we go. Make sure everything is very much centered. We'll adjust the table after these hangings. Should be good. 90 pounds. Okay, that wasn't bad. That did get some sag to it over there, but seemed good. Okay. What happened squared out the side. It's just unlocked. So, you know, that even though it held 90 pounds and it fell out at 135, it may have held 130. We don't know that. We don't have all day to fine tune going 5 pounds at a time. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it's got some play to it. The lock is actually just like a liner lock. It has a bend to it. I think this is still a great improvement over a liner lock. Yeah, the lock bar is just twisted. I don't know if they make a frame lock, compression lock. That'd be cool. Anyway, so you got your torque is what it held is it successfully held 90 pounds times 3.375.
.75.
So it could withstand 303 inch-pounds of torque. And now you take that divided by the weight of 3.3.
92 point.
There you go. All right. So anyway, let's throw just for fun. Let's see if we can. Get this weight, which is what, 180?
Yeah, 180.
So that's successfully held 90. So we'll see if we can successfully hold double the weight. The cold stone light is lighter. And it's up. Pretty awesome. Okay, when to cold steel. Oh, you could, is that right? You could multiply see what this knife just held is the 180 pounds times 3.375.
607.
So this held 607 inch-pounds of torque. This held, it was
303.
303. So right now you're at twice the strength as far as inch-pounds of torque. Pretty impressive.